Hello, my name's Dawn Brunke. I'm going to be reading chapter 23 of my book, Talks with Bob, a true story of love, death, and life in the afterlife. This chapter kind of continues a topic that was brought up in chapter 21, which I also did a recording of. So you might, if you haven't heard that one yet, you might want to start there. Chapter 21, chapter 22, and 23. Bob is still in the caves of the subconscious, and he's working with kind of old issues that were held in physical life. This is a little bit of a lighter chapter because it introduces an interesting character that he met in the afterlife that I never imagined he would meet. So here is chapter 23, Dolores from Detroit. I'm still cleaning the cave of my subconscious, he tells me. It's just me in the cave now. The other selves found what they needed. They were helping me find things I had forgotten. As we remember and lighten those incidents, they come back to me. Integrate is the word you'd use. They come back inside and settle, and we become more whole, as all those things are remembered and integrated. Now those selves can be calm and peaceful. I guess my life review is about going into all this forgotten stuff. I really pushed a lot down there. Not that I necessarily forgot that in life, but there were things I didn't want to look at or remember. If I can give the living some advice, it's this. Go into the cave of your subconscious while you're still alive. Look at some of the things that are there. Maybe work with them, remember them, and bring them up into your mind with love and patience. I know it's hard for us to be okay with all of the things we did. Yes, I say, it's sometimes hard to forgive and love ourselves. We often judge harshly. I see things clearer now, he says. I don't have feelings of judgment or embarrassment or shame or anger. All those emotions are lighter. I'm not sure they are totally gone, but they feel so much lighter here, so I can observe them without getting caught inside of them. That's interesting. For everyone or just your experience? My experience for sure, but I think it's true for many here. Though there are also some who don't want to see, so they avoid doing that work. Like my dad, he has a lot of those heavy feelings, so maybe he needs to ease into it slowly. Maybe that's why he's been playing golf here for so long. I think where I am is an introduction land, a realm to deal with your own stuff and meet or talk with loved ones, those in spirit and those still living. There's a connection here to life on Earth. There are memories here of one's life, and there is the chance to clear things, like I am doing in the cave, and why we are talking now. Some spirit people are unable to reach their loved ones, so they get help from mediums, beings who can travel in between, in the middle of life and afterlife. Some have little tables with crystal balls, kind of a funny nod to their abilities. What? I ask. Remember, this is my way of seeing things. It's a little bit like talking in metaphors or dream symbols, but it's also real. The mediums who work here need to have strong boundaries because they're moving between two worlds. That's what one told me. Wait, what? You met one? Yeah. I saw her table and crystal ball and thought of you. She said I didn't need her services, but she was here to help connect spirits and living beings. Her service is for both sides, living and spirit. She is living, but she is aware of being here too. I sense she is tough in life, a no-nonsense bartender, and this is her secret life that she offers as service. In the living world, she listens to stories from sad drunks who need a spirit connection. Sometimes she says things to them in that state that they can hear, and it helps them. She feels a lot of people come to bars to drink spirits because, deep down, they want to connect with spirit. The spirit being I met here is her counterpart. She's funny and doesn't seem to judge or filter things. She told me some mediums have a rigid way of thinking about the spirit world, and that affects their translations. Maybe it's religion or the idea that everyone is in heaven or whatever. But this woman understands that we all have our own experiences. And she translates to the living in a way that is not colored by her stuff, her beliefs. You got all of that just from seeing her? It's good you ask, because this explains a little about how things work here. I just noticed her briefly, a short encounter. But now, as I'm telling you about it, I'm also with her and understanding more from her perspective about her life on Earth. She's a bartender, not in Alaska, maybe Detroit. Yes, she says Detroit. She's telling me that if I focus on her, then I can know everything that she is willing to share. So, by your interest and my focus, we can get a larger picture of who she is and how this works. Dolores. She says her name is Dolores. See? I wouldn't have known that, but you were just wondering, and that's what she said. That's wild. I was just wondering about her name. Dolores from Detroit. She is laughing and says, Dolores from Detroit in the spirit world, honey. I think you'd like her. She likes us because we're interested in this. She's telling us to focus on our connection, to clear things between us, and then if we want more, she'll help us. She says there are others who will help too, that all we need to do is focus our interest and we can get answers. And you know what? That is so true here. I only have to think a question and there is an answer. Maybe it appears in my mind, or someone tells me something, or a scenario like the cave appears in front of me. Thoughts are things. Remember you would say that? You would tell me that? It's true. Thoughts are things that evoke a response. Hmm. Thoughts are things that evoke a response. I feel that's a short way of saying something important. You wonder about something, and what you need to know shows up in a way that is right for you. And then it's up to you to respond, to make use of that. Yeah, you're onto something. That's why I'm happy to be with you now, talking in this way. I'm glad we can say so much, that I can share what's happening where I am. I want to remind you that I'm always with you. I'm protecting you and steering things to you that are good and helpful. I know you are sad and lonely at times. That will change. You are where you are because you have things to do. Some living people say that without really understanding what that means. But you need to be where you are, and I need to be here. And one of the things we need to talk about is why I had to leave. I think we're almost ready to talk about that too. Okay, that ends chapter 23. Um, and from this point, we go on to some really interesting explorations, which I will read some of those chapters in the coming days. Hope you enjoyed this one. It's one that stretched my mind a little bit, and kind of in a whimsical way, but also in a way that speaks to the power of our imagination, our perceptions, the way we experience reality. So I hope it was helpful for you. If you'd like to know more, links to my website and the book at Amazon are down below in the description. And you are more than welcome to join the channel and be notified of my future readings. Okay. Thanks for listening.